Good morning. All right, let's get back to this beast. Hey, good morning, MSA. Good day, I should say. How are you? Excuse me. Allergies are kicking in hard. Oh boy, this September is full of surprises, isn't it? It's yes. So far, yes. Sorry, guys. Expect a lot of that today. I can feel it. Hey, Ken. Good morning. How are you? How art thou? Yeah, we're gonna hit this thing up with some surfacer after this. Just getting to the cleanup phase here. I glued a bunch of these parts together while watching Mike Wine last night. Gundamonium Works. It's nice to actually come down to the bench in the evening, just kind of listen to Mike and just kind of tackle a project. It was good. It's been a little while. Not sure if I should tell you or save it for tonight. Are you talking about the assassination yesterday? Or something else? I mean, that will probably get discussed tonight. His protocol is going to be peak. Yeah, we all lost our minds. I believe so. I think so too. I don't know if it's going to be peak or epic or anything like that. I will say, and I'll leave it with this. We'll because this is a topic that will get discussed tonight. I hated that guy. I think he was a complete and utter pig. I think his views on women, on minorities, and all that stuff was awful. No one deserves to be killed. Sorry, not assassinated. No one deserves to be assassinated like that. Sorry, I just don't. No. No. And yes, I think we have lost our minds. You know, I think that we are in a very violent time of history where we are going to perpetrate a lot of really bad shit, and it's not good. It happened before 9/11 too, which is kind of poetic. I don't know about poetic. Again, we will table the further conversation. But no matter what you thought of the guy, loved him, hated him, he didn't deserve what he got. All right. Oh, fucking allergies. So Wednesday already? Feels like it. Yeah, yesterday was. Oh, I just feel it right now. Excuse me. Yeah. Sorry, not sorry about yesterday, but I had to get to a client's house early to meet with an architect and a contractor to discuss um, some electrical stuff at a house that we're doing lighting control at. And what's interesting about that project is I love working with the contractor and the architect and then the homeowner. I've worked with a homeowner before. But I've really been enjoying this project just because partly because of the commiseration on how the project is going. It's pretty funny. So early meeting yesterday, which went well. And it was a late day yesterday. Okay, I'm telling every 2 minutes, 3 minutes, I'm going to be clearing myself out here, folks. My apologies. Anyway, good morning, everybody. I'll do a little bit of maybe not construction, but just kind of a tad bit of reshaping here. Now everybody's being quiet. Anybody got anything to say? Let me see if this helps at all. Maybe I'm missing something. Yes, it did change stuff. There we go. It's time for clothing optional coffee making. Clothing optional coffee making. Oh, you think we should get to that? No. Maybe one of these days when I wake up late again. I'm not sure it won't turn people off, but okay. As I said, every 2 minutes. Yeah, I think today's going to be a Clareton kind of day. Mercy. Can always Porky Pig it and keep the camera up high. Probably what I ended up doing. Good evening, Edwin. How are you, my friend? How's your family doing? And to answer George's question yesterday, yes, the funeral must be held as soon as possible, but sometimes it can be delayed to wait for family members to come. Yeah. Yeah. Again, my condolences to your entire family, Edwin. I'm sure it even when you prepare for those times, it ain't easy. So, hey, Peter, good morning. I had the luxury of seeing a preview of one of the vehicles that Peter is currently working on that he will be bringing to PatCon. And I've got to tell you, I'm excited to see it live and direct. There we go. It's very slow getting things cleaned up. Let's get some more coffee in me. Thanks. No, man. I hope I wasn't too forward with Pip in my response, Peter. Sorry, I felt like I needed to. I can't wait to awkwardly stand behind him in line at Subway again. Daniel Johnston, 6 years gone. Has it only been 6 years? God, I thought it's been a lot longer. Wanting to work, but guests keep coming. Well, yeah. Yeah, times like this, Edwin, your time is no longer your own. And, it's just kind of the way life is, right? It's sort of like the reason why you take a look at a lot of young model builders, and I'm talking about people who are into their career but have young children, and why they're not around. Your time is not your own. Anybody who can make it who's got young kids, it's like you must be doing something right. Because I couldn't do that. No. So when you have family events, it is tough. It is tough. Your time is not your own. Very quickly, guys, I just want to show you. So I did all the cleanup, got this thing reassembled last night while working with Michael Wine, and it did not come together well. Not gonna lie, this thing's coming together poorly. Again, I think some of it's a little bit of the design, the features, whatever. If you can take a look, let me see if you can actually see this ring of black all around the cockpit area in relation to the hull. Literally, I laid down layer of super glue after super glue after super glue, layer upon layer, in order to get that to fill in. And now I've got to get some of the shaping done because some of these areas here are not in alignment. And what's even worse is, and it won't be seen, but it's just like something didn't come together well. You can actually see that part is kind of kicked down at an angle. Because the arm will be covering a lot of that, it won't be seen, but it's like it just created some issues with fit and finish. And I tried fixing it. Like I spent, I don't know, like a lot of last night, but seeing where my finger is, you can see the fit and finish there. I got to now file all that back. Whereas on this side, the part's a lot flatter and that whole section came together a lot better. The heavy rain is also a great excuse to not work on painting, but need to drill those gun barrels. Yeah. 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 And well, this too shall pass. And then suddenly you're going to have that time again. It will come back. So we're going to work on this after I'm done working on this eyeball piece, which I drilled out the holes. I'm like, why does this thing feel like it's kind of cocked over? I drilled out the holes and I must have not gotten them straight, but I followed where the holes were. They usually mark them on the inside of the part that you drill through. And they were, they don't line up. So it's likely I'm going to have to break off one of the pins. Edwin, if you don't mind me asking, how many siblings do you have? Only two of us, my older sister and me. Yeah, okay. I thought you just had an older sister, but I wasn't 100% certain. And can I ask Edwin how she's doing? Again, as always, Edwin, please understand, if I ask questions that are inappropriate, you do not have to respond. You know my rules. It's the rules I impose on myself. Excuse me. Okay, almost there. She's more emotional than me. I am more control because I have to accept a thing like this all happens sooner or later. Yeah. Yeah. It's a tough one. One of these days I just not sure today is the day to do it, but one of these days I'll kind of prepare you guys. I'll fill you in on like how my dad passed away, and it was a tough family time. But I won't do that today. I will not do that today. Okay. As I know I've complained enough about this model, and I'm going to continue to complain about it. It's not a great model, but here's an example. If you take a look see that black line that's running straight through, that's the two halves that have been glued together, right? And if I run my fingernail across it, they feel smooth, but I can't tell because of the discoloration. So did I get the seam line? I don't know. So this is again the reason why you do primer. You do your first pass primer to make sure that you got everything. Yes, I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but still. I'm sure everybody knows that here.
gonna be a day.
Today is gonna be a day. I don't know if anybody noticed, but it appears that we finally got rid of that top fans bullshit. Am I correct? Am I seeing it? See, I'm not seeing any of that stuff. So Dwayne pinged me yesterday and he showed me where to do that. Now I'd seen that section of YouTube where I could do that. But I wasn't 100% certain. And yeah, he's like, yeah, that's where you want to do this. So there we go. Let's see. It's still there. It's still there. Thanks to my lecturer back in uni day, I understand the 5 stages of grief and skip the acceptance. Yeah. Now, skip the acceptance? Well, Ken is number 1. Does that make you number 2? I couldn't resist. I just couldn't. I just couldn't. Nope, that's Peter today. Oh, no. You will always be my number 2. There we go. Get that all cleaned out. Now, let's very gently do one here. Retired at 75 experience each. The fan system is a fail, I guess. Oh, really? Huh. Fan system is a fail, I guess. I guess so. There we go. There we are. Supposed to say ensign, otherwise fleet council will make you do space. HR. Nice. Hey, Nick, good morning. How are you? All right, we got that kind of cleaned up. Looks better. I could do a little bit down there too. Just a wee bit. We'll pull up the 0.1 down here, though. What's going on, Nick? Oops, doing something wrong there. Give me a second, guys. I apologize. Do a little bit of cleanup there. I was watching something about why a hobby can't be just hobby these days. The pressure to improve, to express instead of just enjoy it for the sake of it's just a hobby, not a job. Yeah. Well, I'm wondering if it's, a lot of the, like a lot of the social media stuff, the accessibility that people can do it. And then when you hear about people, getting massive followers and then building a career out of it, basically. Doing good. About to head out to go fishing. Nice. Hey, Dwayne. Good morning. What's going on, brother? Had to buy a screw set for a model I was working on. Then after I finished putting everything together, found the bag of hardware. It's not the way it always works. It was always like that. It's like one losing half of the. Yes, exactly. What are we fishing for? Compliments. That's what I fish for. But no, I think Edwin, you're right. I think that when we get to a certain point, we build up and we're like, oh, I'm really good. And I see people hobby in a different direction, you know. This is why it's like whenever, it's like when people have asked, including my wife, it's like, don't you want to monetize this? It's like, no, then it loses it being a hobby. I don't want that. I have a job. I don't want another one if I can avoid it. If I can avoid it, I'm not going to have another one. I think the dive to improve can also just be natural scope creep. But I think it's also, at what point do you do it to the point where it doesn't feel like a hobby anymore? It feels like work. I've known a few people who've kind of crossed that line. Fuck. I felt that one go the wrong way. Give me a second, guys. I'll be right there. Last night, I'm just read through some of these things I'll talk about last night's Mike show. And there is something I wanted to bring up. I think that drive to improve can also be natural scope creep. It's my hobby of building and become a job. Now I'm having mini four-wheel drive as a hobby, not as a job. And if that's a transition that you like, fabulous. I see the distinction. Yeah, if you want to be your career life, you can do that, but it's sometimes something I try to avoid. Yeah, I don't. And again, if people want to make that your life, and this is what we're talking about with Tom a couple, last week. Hey, Joe, good morning. It's the same conversation. It's like, look, make it a job. If you want to make it a job, make it a job. If you want to do this all the time and, you know, and then work yourself just like anything else, rise to the occasion and make it a job. But me personally, I don't want it to be a job because this is my fun part. Mike Wine last night was talking about once again, he's been taking an excessively long time, his words, not mine, on, completing his current project, and that's delaying doing a commission project. But as he says to everybody who says, hey, can you do something for us? He says, yeah, but if you've got a timetable, I'm not your guy. Someone made a mini Timmy Grasshopper RC conversion. Good, I might have to buy the STL files. Nice. Do it. Buy it. Nice. Good morning, beautiful bastards. Good morning, beautiful Joe. I thought we talked about you not mentioning your fun parts. Well, some of my fun parts. I missed that stream. Yeah, I like watching Mike Wine. I've always have, because I think he's got a lot of good projects, and he's an incredibly capable builder. Incredibly. Playing Drift RC for hobby while helping friends print RC bodies. Now, I don't like to have to document stuff just for the sake of posting on social media. This is why my posts are sparse. Yeah, I'm the same way. I might start posting a few pictures here and there of the project on YouTube and just kind of leave it there. We'll see. I know I'm going to be showing some of the stuff that I've done, like showing some of the injection pin mark stuff. We'll see. Mike Wine was actually working on his, he's working on the 1/35th scale. It's the hard graph tank. It's the M61A5, I think is what it's called. And he's doing battle damage on the Zaku head. And it looks fabulous. And this is by no means a denigration. One of the things that I brought up when I watched this video last week, and it continued into this week, if you think about two panels that are coming together, and I'm hoping I can get this point across, because I'm not sure I did a good job of it last night. When you got two panels coming across, right, on a model, and you do some damage to it, and then both those panels kind of come up, or that entire piece of plastic kind of gets raised. So as an example, let's say you got like a hood on the snout of a Zaku, right? And it takes a hit in this direction, and it's like, well, it took a blow, so the entire piece did this. Well, I look at it as, if you got a piece of plastic that's, okay, this scale, okay, or this size, and there's very little flex in it, right? But if I had this blown up to 1/35th scale, I would have a big bow in it. That thing would just, the weight of its material, the way it kind of like bends, you got a lot more places where you can like bend like a little bit in the corner here, or make like a big ripple in it or whatever. You can't do that at this scale with great ease. Mike did a very good job of it. Don't get me wrong. I think looking at what he did with the lifting of the corner, I think was spectacular. But it got me to thinking about scale in relation to damage on parts that come together. And I'm very thankful to Mike for him talking about that last week and then showing it a little further this week. So anyway, it was a good show. Very much appreciated. Again, I always like watching Mike. I think he's a very talented builder. And Brian was on last night. And Brian was talking quite a bit about, we're talking about, making a career out of it. I mean, Brian that is his job, which I think is pretty cool. Brian Denklo, Burrow Builder. He's a professional model maker. And I knew that he did a lot of public art, metalwork and public art. I just didn't realize he'd done some other stuff as well. Hey, Joe. Getting a little slow on the up and up this morning. Ken, you got to drink some more coffee. All right. I think we've created enough of a line that allows this piece here to look like it actually does swivel. Without actually swiveling. I'm injured again. Kickball. Hold it. Hold it. Are you for real? George, integrity of parts. Integrity of parts. Kenny G. Hold it. For real? Are you injured? And are we talking about like bicycle style injury? Turn my knee. Oh, for fuck's sake, Ken. Ken, your body's falling apart an awful lot for a guy who's 32. I'm just saying. You got to stop doing these very dangerous things like bicycling and playing kickball. Can you stop, please? But all kidding aside, dude, what's I know exactly. Dude, all kidding aside, you all right? Yeah, but with my son more, I can't turn my head left. I understand. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But no, I can understand. Yeah, things don't work as well as they did when we were younger. Like not even rough, just like picked him up. Yeah. Well, I got one better than that, guys. Last night I was sitting on the couch watching the just kind of wrapping up watching the Vuelta after Mike's live stream. I just, I kind of did this a little bit more cleanup, worked on my server a little bit, went upstairs, started just like sat down on the couch. And I positioned myself to kind of watch, and then suddenly my back started like the twinge. I'm like, and it's like it was the precursor to you're about to get a bad spasm that you're gonna it's gonna last for days. It's like, and all I'm doing is sitting on the couch watching a video. It sucks. Yeah. Anyway, Dwayne, you all right, dude, brother? I mean, this is yeah. I mean, kids are another thing. I mean, as we get older, right? Picking them up. Ouch. Kids aren't light. My tendons have dry rot. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just go interesting things in front of me or slightly to the right. Oh, ouch. Dwayne, is this something that you're going to have to seek professional help for, or is this going to be just got to have to just, ride this one out with muscle relaxants and pain relievers? All right. Got some cleanup done here. Can I see? I can't tell. I legit cannot tell if I've got one little splots there, which I will fill. But I legit cannot tell if I've got a seam line or not. I'll do physical therapy again if I can't get it back to normal in the next few weeks. This is my first rodeo. Ooh. You need spine pressure. My chiropractor taught me a bunch of home moves to help out. I will see if the video is up. Cool. Last time I had to do dry needling. Had to get stabbed repeatedly to cure my sports injury of regular activity. Thanks, Joe. Yeah. Not so much the injuries that bother me, it's the mental spiral and existential will that bury me. The existential stuff, huh? I have like 3 or 4 of these. Most of them lock up. Wow. Ooh. Oh, man. What where they put designs on your skin permanently. Nice. Have I deformed L2 vertebrae? So fun stuff. Ouch. Yeah, I know about your injuries, Joe. The injuries get me depressed. Really? Ken, I'm really sorry to hear that, brother. So, Ken, can I ask again, question? Don't have to answer. What do you do to get out of that? Is there something you can do to get out of that? Or do you just got to ride out the storm? Joe Quasimodo. From that in the center coming to warbirds who are all running at peak efficiency. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe you. It's really not me. You know, I consider myself fortunate for how well my body is behaving until it then just decides like suddenly to fail me. It's not a hump. It's not a hump. It is not a hump. Let's toss some more coffee in. Got about 10 minutes. Yeah, I can already feel the pains I'm going to have from this trip. Really? Try to just get through it. Sometimes you learn stuff, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, but it's different when it's mental anguish, though, Ken. That's a different beast. I mean, you know that game. Motion here and there helps. Yeah. Ready for water for bean juice. Nice. The world of crackers be a Ritz. Let's show. A world where everything is crackers be a Ritz. Okay. Let's get this part put in here and I'll show you what I mean by, of course. Sounds lame, but Buddhists say to never chase away feelings, just experience them. Yeah, I don't think it sounds lame. I think that makes a lot of sense. But if those feelings take you to a place that put you in a darker place, is that a good thing? I might argue against it. Yeah, there we go. So if you take a look at that eyeball dealio, if I can show it, it just seems like it's not completely flush. So what I'm going to do is hollow out one of the holes and just kick the bottom over just a smidge. Tomato and his son race and yells, ketchup. Nice. There's no light without darkness, I guess. Wish I knew some real answers. Yeah. Well, that is true. All right, now I went too far that way, so let's go the other way. That's good. And then once I hit this thing with thin cement, most of that flash will just get taken care of. Yeah, I'm going to glue this piece in place now. Actually, before we glue that piece in place, I just completely forgot. I got to do all of the cleanup up here. No reason to fight apart. Death means no taxes. No. Yes. That just means death. Let's just be honest here. That just came together so fucking poorly. I am likely going to have to do some construction work here and put in a thin strip. Yeah. Let's do this. Time. Yeah. I'll probably break out the strip. Won't get to it today, but I'll break it out. You can actually, real quickly, let's see where I am. Right there. You can see there's maybe from the top, you can see there's just a massive gap right there where this part and the main hull kind of came together. I mean, I hit the thing with I guess, could I do that with filler? I mean, I hit it with CA. I mean, I got two rays. Funny enough, from this angle, it looks fine. Maybe instead I just need to do fill up. All right. You know what? We're going to do that instead. I have to fill it with something. I just got to figure out with what. I might do epoxy. I might just hit it with more CA. We'll see. Later, fellas. Fish won't catch themselves. Nick, have a lovely time away. Enjoy your trip. I'm assuming we won't be seeing you over the next few days, but that's all right because you're going to be catching some fish. Oh yeah, we got more things to fill here. All right. I'm not going to be using plastic. Later, Nick. Enjoy the fishies. See you later. It's back. I may actually just do it with some putty. Or I'm going to start with CA first and see if I can get the CA to form in there. I got more CA stuff to do anyway. It won't be done today. I'll continue to work on it tomorrow. But I'm going to continue to repeat myself on this model. This is a fabulous looking model, but its construction is still just, it's the engineering. It's the engineering on how parts come together that's just not all that great. Just reinforcing what I experienced when I put this thing together just over 2 years ago. Sorry, guys, give me a second. I guess that's a little better. I mean, it's a panel line, which I'm fine with. Just don't want it to be a panel gap, if you know what I'm saying. I'll leave you guys with this. So last night I sent out an email to anybody who participated at PatCon last year. If we had their email addresses, and it's kind of, it's basically just what's coming up, what's going down. We sent out a schedule for upcoming, the events at PatCon this year, which is good because that way people can kind of maybe plan their day a little bit around, what what's going on at the show. But one of the things that I sent out also was just a request for judges if anybody wants to be a judge. And the reason why, and it's funny because now when I'm working on this thing, I can't stress enough the importance of judging, because it's not about judging necessarily, but it's certainly about you have a much more critical eye to your own work. Oh man, the other day I went shopping and got some apple cider donuts. Oh, it's that time of year. Back on as soon, isn't it? Yep, it's coming up in just over 2 weeks. I placed my baklava order with the missus. Oh, did you? Please tell her Efcharisto for me, all right? I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, but anyway, just so I did send that out, and we actually got somebody last night who responded and said, "Hey, yeah, I'd like to participate in judging. What do I need to know?" So I'll respond to them this morning. But yeah, I think it's again, one can think of judging in a negative way. I look at it as a supreme positive for how you can become a better modeler. And you're helping out your community. Win, 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 win. Win, 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 win. Will do. Having judges set up ahead of time will really help you guys with you. Well, yes and no. I mean, let's put it this way. You're still at the mercy of people who show up and still want to volunteer. Judging is not an easy thing. And I know we've talked about this, Dwayne, and it's going to continue to get better, I think, over the time. But I think we're going to have a lot more people who are engaged, which is going to be helpful early on. Yes, I do. I agree with you on that. All those fuck ups, don't do that. Exactly. It's not even look at all those. Yeah, and in some ways, it's like, ooh, yeah, remember that for whatever. Or you might even see something that's really good and just say, oh, I got to remember that for something I want to try. You get to steal. All right. This piece of shit is slowly coming together. It has a lot of work I have to do to it, including grinding down this entire section and then gap filling a lot of it. Because it really is. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna stop right now. Yes, George, this is a piece of shit model. Get over it. Make magic. So with that, shit, that my model. All right, guys. Stay safe and stay sane. Thanks for being on this morning. I really do appreciate it. Um, guys, I'll be talking about it tonight at 7 p.m. But I just want to kind of leave with this real quickly. I had no love for Charlie Kirk. I think the guy was a prick, but no one deserves to be killed. There's no room in this world for hatred and violence, not like what we're experiencing now. Okay, we'll go into a deeper dive tonight, but please go out there and show people love, compassion, provide dignity. Don't vilify. Don't go out there and treat people like crap. You may not agree with people, fine, but don't treat the individual like they're a piece of shit. Okay, and again, no room for violence. Go out there and do good. Brighten the world. Brighten it as much as you possibly can. I'll be back on tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., continuing with this. I'll be on tonight, 7 p.m., doing the Unleash thing. And with that, guys, enjoy the day. Do good. Love you all. Catch you on the flip. Peace.